Hey everybody, welcome to Conversation Piece with me, Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and this is a show where I talk to my friends and other interesting people about whatever it is that they have on their minds right now. A lot of times it has to do with adoption, but I like to talk about everything. So you might hear a lot of different topics covered on this show. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is episode 3. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to this on December 1st. And we have just closed out National Adoptee Awareness Month in November. Been a long month, lots of stuff happening in my personal life, lots of stuff happening in the world. Everything's fine, I think. So that leads me to why I'm very excited about having this particular guest on the show. If you see the title of the episode, then you already know who it is, but she has been one of my really best friends in the community since I started this journey. She is obviously, or maybe not obviously, but she is a fellow Korean adoptee. She does all kinds of fun work, and I was going to say something else, but I'm going to say that she does a lot of really great community facilitating and is just an overall incredible person. I'd like to welcome Katie Gagel to the show. Katie, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I hope that I'm one of those interesting people that you mentioned in your intro.
You are definitely in the friend part. Also very interesting. Obviously,
wow.
that's a joke. But if listeners are new, they might not know that we have a pre-existing friendship where we make jokes like that.
What are we, an illness?
An illness?
What? Pre-existing. I just never hear that unless it's an illness.
Well, I'm reclaiming it for friendship.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh,
I'm here.
Katie, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Oh, if only because it gives me another chance to have just an hour-long conversation with you about whatever it is. But particularly coming off of what can be a really heavy month, and we will dig into that. I just can't talk right now.
It's okay.
It's been a whole thing. A whole thing. And I don't know. I guess my first question is just, how are you doing right now? You said you're doing good, but really, how are you doing?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good right now. I started out really strong. I came in real hot. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to dominate this.
You did come in hot.
Literally maybe 5 days in, I was like, peace.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah. Okay, so before Nam, I think maybe a few days before, I texted you. I was like, is anyone doing a word thing? A word a day? And I didn't see anything. So I'm like, well, I'm going to make one because I feel like people might want one. And for me, I really like and enjoy having writing prompts. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to do an emotion one, which, honestly, I whipped it together in 5 minutes. And I accidentally did not look at the list in order before I posted it. So there's probably 10 days in a row where it's just all negative emotions. Super heavy negative emotions. And I'm like, wow, I probably could have planned that better. But I did do probably 5 days, and then I thought, oh, this is kind of heavy. So I decided to take, a couple breaks, and then it ended up being basically the rest of the month.
It's just one long break.
I mean, yeah, totally fine. But I really loved the fact that people were, that there were several different prompts from other people. And I loved that adoptees felt comfortable, using whatever prompt they wanted to use. So I really enjoyed kind of the variety of what people were posting. And I saw like so much labor going into these posts, like not just, sometimes when I get lazy about posting, I'll just post like 2 sentences in the in the body, because I'm just like, oh, I already put it in the slides, it's fine. But there was just so much that people shared, and I was so impressed and so excited for adoptees, especially adoptees that had not, I guess, publicly shared too much about their journey.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. I'm just going rampant on this question. So, and, and then I offered an adoptee speak session. That's what I called it because I had no idea what else to call it.
Sure.
And basically, I just opened up 30-minute slot spaces for adoptees to just come as they are and have a conversation with me, where I'm just listening. I'm not a therapist. I'm not anything like that. I'm not a professional, but I just wanted to kind of hold space for adoptees who wanted to talk, who wanted to share, who wanted someone to listen to. And within like 3 hours of me posting, all the slots were filled. And
Dang.
it was just amazing. I think what really blows my mind is that it shows me how much our community, like what our community needs more than anything. Like, the affirmation, the desire to be heard, I mean, is there anything more powerful than that?
I don't think so.
I don't think there is. When someone is able to affirm who you are and how you identify and, all of those experiences, and which is a collection of pain and hardship and joy and all these emotions, when someone's able to affirm that and, growing up not really having that, it's so powerful. So it was exciting.
It's exciting and you're doing good. I think the question was, how are you doing? And I like that you just laid out everything that you had going on in November. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, how I feel about just validation in general and being able to have your voice heard. I just recorded a podcast episode earlier today of this recording, and that was one of the things that we talked about, or we talked about Clubhouse specifically, and how I gave the anecdote of one of the people that was in our group who like came out of the fog essentially in real time. And we were like, and I was like, we were all texting each other like, oh my God, I think this is really happening. I think they're having these realizations right now. And just how, and I was just relaying how that moment was very pivotal for me to see how important something like that was, just to have the space and the fact that that person felt safe enough to go ahead and share. So before we dive even deeper, for people who may not know you, can you give just a quick, brief introduction? I feel like you did a good job of talking about what you do in that first question. No, that's totally my fault. I led with how are you, not who are you. So now we're going to go from how to who. So can you tell people just a little bit about yourself? Sure.
I am Katie. I'm a Korean adoptee. Things I really struggle with what to say. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and in a very white middle class family and neighborhood, and really started coming to terms with my adoption in 2009 when I first went back to Korea, and have been doing an ongoing birth search since 2009. And yeah, have really spent the last 2 years on Instagram and social media in general, sharing my story. And honestly, it was before that, it was more so, how do people share their stories? I don't understand how people get opportunities to share their stories. What do they do? And so then I realized, oh, you just make it. You just do
You just
it.
do it.
And so that's exactly what I did. I just made an event and shared my story with like 9 strangers. And that was the start of me starting to share my story publicly. And then I created my Instagram account, and Katie the Cat, and started sharing there. So I don't
Katie
even
the
know if that answered your
It
question.
100% answers it. And I just like hearing you say your handle. I'm like, what an iconic handle. Like in our community, like what an iconic handle. And I feel very privileged to know the person behind the handle because I think that's
Oh.
something that, is becoming more and more common as more and more of us share. I think when people ask for resources, we tend to give them Instagram profiles in our community
Mhm.
because like that's who we find when we're searching and are usually kind of one of the places that we end up. And it can be easy when we do that to lose the person. So I feel like I appreciate you introducing yourself in whatever manner that you want to do it because I know you, but I like to see what else you might be sharing with people who may not know you so well. And I wanted to ask that first event. You talked about that being the kind of the kickoff, the catalyst to start sharing publicly and doing it for your
Mhm.
story. What was your feeling like going into the event, not coming out of it, but going in?
Mm.
Because I feel like that would just 9 strangers. When I met with KJ and Nathan for the first time, that's 2 strangers. And I was like, no way I'm doing this. No way we're doing a podcast together. And now look at us, over 100 episodes. But
Would you look at it?
look at that. But what was that like for you going in?
Mm.
And was your expectation changed when you came out of it?
I think going in, I was nervous. I had already shared my story in different, mm, like different events, but they weren't, it was not virtual. I'll
Hmm.
just say that. I think I wasn't as nervous just simply because it was my story. Like I know
Sure.
my own story. I know how to frame it. I know what to say. Um, so I think like there was this real excitement, like, wow, people are actually wanting to come to this and they don't even know me, you know? So I thought that was really, I think I felt really empowered
Mm,
going into it that you don't have to wait for opportunities. You can just put in the work and make your own opportunity. And I think that's what created the excitement was that I put in the work. I advertised it myself. I
what kind
was
of advertising were you
crazy.
doing?
Okay, so I put it all over. Like, so I used to go to the University of Louisville. I used to do the social work program, and anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I'm still in the Facebook group, so I put it in there. I reached out to some of the residential facilities in Louisville, letting them know, like, hey, can you connect me to foster parents, future foster parents? I just dug into some of the context that I've made here and that I've never utilized.
Sure.
So it, it felt really good. And then just posting it on Facebook and on my own social media. Facebook is really like where all of my friends and the real life, quote
Right.
unquote, is. So, um, I think that was really exciting to be able to share that with my friends and family too. But yeah, so anyway, a lot of social media. I just put it wherever I could, and then um, connected with some of the contacts that I had made.
So was your intended audience initially other adoptees, or
No.
was it just you? Because I heard you say foster parents or future foster parents. Was that
Hmm.
who you were looking to reach?
Yeah, I was looking to reach adoptive parents, foster parents, future. Yeah, it was not for adoptees
Interesting.
at all. I did have one adoptee come,
Hmm.
and I was more nervous about that adoptee being there than the parents.
What was the impetus to go after, or not to go after, but to share with parents as opposed to other adoptees?
Firstly, I just want to acknowledge that word is very big. Impetus.
Oh, okay. I was like, what word? The?
Yes, yes, that is the word. Um, um, I think, you and I have had a lot of conversations about this, but I think that some adoptees truly want to be a part of bridging that gap
Mhm.
between adoptees, adoptive parents, and birth mothers. And it's not to say that um, there's nothing wrong with adoptees not wanting to engage in that.
Mhm.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, it's really important. I think I've engaged with a lot of amazing adoptive parents, actually. And so, honestly, I just wanted it to be a resource for them because I hate the system. I
Mm.
hate how it's set up. I hate, um, that there's not enough adoptee voices. I don't like a lot of the system and how it's set up. So I want to be able to bridge a gap. And if that's just through relationships, then that's my part.
What other ways have you found that you've been able to bridge that gap, or have you felt like you've made those bridges, or that you've built those bridges already? Wait a minute. Let me
Hmm.
ask that question again. Do you- um, I guess what other ways have you found that you've been able to build bridges to those other groups? Because we have had
Hmm.
that conversation a lot, and I think I've been talking about it a lot more recently about yes, it's great what we do as adoptees from adoptee to adoptee because you know there's someone who was like us at the beginning who's coming out, who's waking up from this great sleep, and who's gonna need to find inspiration or resonance in somebody's story. And so us
Hmm.
doing that with each other is great because it provides that record. But when it comes to the system, when it comes to the institution of adoption and how we change that, how we change the narrative, we can't only speak to each other. We
Hmm.
have to be able to go out and have these conversations and have these tough conversations with people who have nothing to do with the adoptee experience, but either have direct or maybe even indirect influence over how these systems and institutions play out.
Hmm.
So, I mean, how have you seen, like, outside of just sharing your story or outside of just those types of small events, has there been anything else that you've seen work in that direction?
What a question. Um, hmm. I think that, um, like for example, I think what comes to mind first is it's post resource
Mm,
on Instagram. I
yeah.
love what they do.
Yeah.
They're creating these kits for families to be able to engage in conversation and processing for their adoptee. And I think those kinds of it's created by two adoptees, but I think those things really do make a change. I think that it's part of engaging with the different um, stakeholders, shall we say,
Mm,
in the triad. And I think that's really important. Um, I guess I haven't really directly been a part of it. I used to joke that um, that adoptive parents didn't like me after they talked to me because I would tell them the truth and tell them my sad story. And I realized that I don't care. I don't care if parents don't like me, because ultimately it comes down to, like, I'm telling my truth. I'm
Right.
telling what I know
It has
is
nothing
my
to do with you.
experience.
It's
Exactly.
them. Yeah.
And I actually have had several parents come back to me and say, "Look, I could not handle what you were talking to me about, but I get it now."
Mm.
And I really appreciate that, you know?
Yeah.
I think that shows growth. And so, like, on a very individual, uh, I guess, basis, maybe that's how I'm contributing.
Sure.
Um, but on a bigger scale, I don't know.
When that first adoptive parent reached back out to you and said what you just said, hey, that was not something I could take at that moment, but I get it now. What was that like?
I thought it was insightful. Um,
Was it surprising?
it
Or was it
was.
like it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was surprising. I think there are adoptive parents that really do a lot of work. They do a lot of work on the inside. I think they do a lot of learning. And honestly, it just has to be a humble place to be.
Mm.
And in no way am I, like, condoning the ones that just are not willing to learn. But I do think there are a lot of parents out there that genuinely are wanting to learn. And I do think it takes a lot of humility in general to be a parent. And as someone that's not a parent, but in my perspective, I think you have to be really humble. Um, but yeah, it was really surprising. It meant a lot that she came back to me and told me, and it made me like her even more,
Mm.
because and made me respect her even more, because it means that she's growing and
Sure.
she's willing to admit, that it wasn't, she didn't want to accept it at one time, but now she gets it because she now knows that it's relevant and important for her kids that are adopted.
Sure. Is this a person that's active on social media? You don't have to like name
No.
them or anything. Okay. I just didn't know if you were able to like see a shift from that thinking,
Mm,
post them coming back with the apology. I thought
yeah,
that would be interesting to see how that
that would be.
shifted there. Um, but speaking of social media, I guess, I think that's how I found you. Like I talked about it before, the handle, Katie the Cad, iconic in the adoptee community.
Oh
And
gosh.
what I really resonated with in your content was that it felt very adoptee centered and direct. And I'd not seen someone really talking about stuff the way that you were talking about, particularly from like the Dear Mom series. It's
Mm,
like something like creatively I had not seen adoption experience talked about in that way
mm,
and in that form. And I really enjoyed it. Um, but I think I didn't know that about your first event that you had that was purely for adoptive parents or tailored or aimed at adoptive parents.
mm-hmm,
And now that I think about it, like a lot of your content does or is, I feel like, educational on both sides. It does provide a lane for both that of the adoptee, and if an adoptive parent wants to approach, it's approachable for them. How is that? How have you found a balance in that? Is there a balance in that for you, or is it just, again, kind of like you were talking about? I'm just telling my truth, and that's what ends up being at the end of the day.
hmm. Good question. I honestly have to say I don't consciously think
Mm,
about making content for both groups of people. I
sure.
think I think it just I think people resonate with it because I mean, we all go through periods of time or something hard, and we think we have to be the only people that are experiencing
Mm,
this until someone talks about it. And then you're like, oh my God, yes, that's
right.
exactly how I felt. And you feel so seen. And I think on a human level, I think people resonate with some of the experiences that I have. And then as a bonus, I think it resonates with parents when they're trying to understand their children and adoptees who, you know, a lot of us have grown up without any adoptees in our life to, bounce off our struggles and talk about what we've gone through and feel seen in our experiences. So I think my number one goal in general for this account has always been I don't want people to feel alone. And which is ironic because I often feel alone,
Mm,
but I think that is always my goal. Is that's why I choose to be very vulnerable, and tend to be an open book about a lot of things because sharing makes people feel seen
sure.
and it gives them permission to feel what they've either always felt or are feeling in the moment. And I think that's so important with our community that we're giving ourselves permission to feel and go through and experience whatever it is, instead of holding it in,
Sure.
which is generally what a lot of adoptees have gone through.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the overarching themes in a lot of our stories is the suppression of something, most likely
Yeah.
emotional, but tied to multiple things, whether it's identity or even just geographic location. And the moment that we find validation in whatever form that looks like, or feeling it for the very first time, it's like a KJ talked about the adoption apocalypse. Like the apocalypse is when like you have that moment and at the end of the day, if you never go any further forward into it, like it's always still has changed your life. Like there's
Mm,
no going back now. Like
yeah.
that's what happens with the apocalypse. It's fresh in my mind because I was just talking about that today, or asked to describe it, and I had to come up on the fly with a definition, and that was the best one I could come up with. And I'm like, actually, it makes sense. But I think that's also a testament to, or all your sessions during NOM being filled in 3 hours. I think is a testament to that work that you've done. You talked about at the top before that first event. Realizing if I put the work in, like it will happen, and it happened, and it's happened. And now we've seen, or at least as a person in your audience has seen that happen time and time and time again. Um, it doesn't surprise me in the least bit that hundreds and hundreds of people are clamoring to have even a modicum of your attention because you're a good listener. And you're
Firstly,
listening to me talk right now. So
not hundreds and hundreds.
right,
Okay,
fives and tens of
people.
people.
Yeah, let's down that.
All right,
Take it down
millions
a
and
notch.
millions of people of adoptees, literally all of the adoptees,
Yes,
are
yes.
clamoring to get a modicum of Katie the cat's attention. Um, but
Wow.
so I wanted to now. I mentioned Clubhouse earlier, and then as we were talking, and as you were sharing about like seeing the power of storytelling and seeing how that resonates with our community specifically, and then talking about bridging gaps and all of that, I wanted to kind of go back to when our Asian adoptee club kind of got started and talk about that a little bit. Like, I
All
want to
right.
have our group on for nobody probably even knows about this group outside of the group.
That's true.
But we have this little this little clique that formed out of those first few rooms. And I just wanted to see what you remembered about that time, because we didn't really know each other that well
Yeah, I didn't
going
know
into
who
that.
you were.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I know who you were. Iconic handle in adoptee
Actually,
Instagram
that's not
community.
true. That's not true.
Um,
I did know your handle. I just didn't know you.
I didn't know who this dude was. Who is this?
But
Why is he here?
I remember in one room, I was like, we're BFFs, aren't we? And then you were like, yeah, we are. And I was like, well, this is meant to be.
I mean, it was friendship at first sight, I felt like, as
That's
soon as we
right.
got in those rooms. But do you remember, like, the feelings that you were having at that time? Like, I think about it a lot, or I've been
Yeah.
thinking about it a lot more lately, but I don't know. It's just, I haven't talked to anybody else about it in a long time, I feel like. And now that I
Yeah.
got you here, I feel like I wanted to ask you, do you remember what was going on at that time or what you were feeling as we started to start these rooms, I guess?
Yeah. So Clubhouse was just in general like a funny time for the community because obviously half of the community could get on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because it was only open to Apple, to iPhone users and not Android. So like, yeah, we were like ripped in half.
Oh my gosh,
For a
I
little
forgot
while.
about that. And now I'm
Yeah,
remembering things
yeah,
that happened because of it.
yeah. You are welcome. You're welcome for those memories. So firstly, that was happening, and there was just so much generated excitement
Mm-hmm.
around it. You know, it was still in the peak of COVID, so oh my God, there's a new app out there. So I remember it just being so fresh. I remember feeling nervous because, you know, like I don't know these people and I'm just
Right.
talking. And it honestly was, you know, we're moderating as if we're like a small group leader kind of
Sure.
thing. And, you know, our group, I don't even know how we ended up in that group, actually.
I think after one of the first two rooms, we were just the last 6 people
Really?
in the room. Yeah, because our first two went like 3 hours, 4 hours
Okay,
long.
that's valid. Yeah.
And that's how I remember it. I might be remembering incorrectly, but
I mean, I have no recollection. So,
because I was thinking about how because Michaela and I knew each other and we
mhm.
were like, okay, we should
Oh,
start a
yeah.
room together. But then I
Yes.
don't know, I couldn't remember how, like, you came in, Charlotte came in after, and then
Yes.
immediately fell in right in with the group.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
immediately right in with the group. But Jess and you and Ailey were all
Yes.
there in those first 3 rooms.
Yes. I remember that. So yes, you're correct. You and Michaela, I remember, started several rooms. And then I don't know, we just all kind of just jived
Yeah.
just immediately. And
Well,
then
I like that you
again,
brought
I
up
don't know.
the excitement because
Yeah.
after our kind of 6 fell in and we started to like really share like promotions and
Yeah.
then like, oh, because we didn't have the club when we first started. Like that came
Right.
later when Charlotte came in. But I remember like sharing like flyers or something, I think. And I remember like our fourth room, I think we had like maybe 12, 15 people.
Uh-huh.
And by week like 6 or 7, there were 40, 50 people,
Oh, yeah.
mostly adoptees,
Yeah.
joining us. And I just remember each week or every like 3 days when we would have one, just the energy that
Yeah.
was coursing through everybody's profile pictures because you can't see everybody's actual face. And
It's true.
it was wild. I don't know. It was wild. Like, and you said it
Remember,
was a weird time for the community, or maybe
it
not a weird
was.
time, but it
Oh,
was a time.
remember when Nick Cho
Oh
showed
yeah.
up?
Well, that was like that
Wild,
made me
Wild
feel like
West.
this is important what we're doing,
Mm,
even though it wasn't. Well, I mean, I guess they're still throwing rooms around right now, but
hmm.
every so often. But when he joined us, and for people that don't know, Nick Cho, Korean American, your Korean dad on Instagram. Um, but we were in one of those. It was one of those big rooms, and
Hmm.
we were just chatting. And I remember I saw him pop up in the audience, And we have the text chain going, and I'm like, oh my God, I think that's Nick Cho. Pretty sure that's your Korean dad down in the audience.
I'm sweating
And
right now.
it's
Just
funny
reliving
because,
it.
well, we had a very strict rule: no non-adoptees on the stage, because
Yes.
that was, we went through the trial and error of how do we make sure that we only have adoptees. We're the gatekeepers, and we really
Yes.
were gatekeeping. But we had some close calls, we had some misfires a couple times, but
Yep.
when I say all that, because when Nick came in, I asked if it would be okay if we brought him up, because someone of his at the time prominence, specifically from the Asian American community, I felt like was a huge milestone for what we were doing, or it was again a testament to what we were doing in that space,
Hmm.
that he felt even compelled for any reason to click on our thing and join
Mm-hmm.
and listen. And then, we probably made him feel real awkward by bringing him up and having him talk for 5 seconds. But, I thought it was important to see someone, again, of prominence in our community show an interest, take an
Yeah.
interest, come and
Yeah.
listen.
Agree. That felt really good. Especially because, so many of us were kind of deep diving. I think it was just kind of split. Like half of the people were deep diving into adoption, which had, several had never shared their adoption story or anything adoptee related
Mm,
ever. Um, and here they were in Clubhouse sharing, and then the other half was like grappling with their Asian American identity.
right.
And so yeah, you're right, it just felt so affirming to have him in the room, because he does have such a big name, and he does such great work. And to have him come in, and you're right, like just be interested in what we're talking about, meant a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Still wild to think about to this day, honestly. Even though that was like a quick 6 months, maybe 5 of
Yeah.
doing those things. Like, we put in a lot of time. That
Yes.
was the thing, though. Like, we burnt ourselves out
Yes.
hardcore because it was unsustainable. Like, the rate we were going, the
Oh
amount we
yeah.
were, it was just a lot. It was a
It
lot.
was. It was.
Um, but it was again another like maybe not evolution, but another way for us to build and facilitate community. And obviously, since 2009, but at least since after that point, you've been part of trying to build community or trying to build bridges, whether it's within the adoptee community or building those bridges out from there. And you've been a part of Instagram, Facebook, the different avenues of how we can build community. How have you seen that change in your time doing this work? And on the flip side, what hasn't changed that you wish would have? If there's anything like that you can think of.
Hmm. I think, firstly, there has been an immense boom of people on social media because of COVID. And and I think people finding the courage to share their stories for the first time. And I think that's so powerful.
Mm,
That's something that I've seen completely shift. I mean, just in the last 2 years, I mean, it. There are so many accounts. There are so many people sharing. There's so many adoptees that are creating community, and I just think that's so amazing. I think it's so cool. That's something huge that I've seen. And
mhm.
then I think I've seen a lot of support groups come out of it. When I first got on, I hosted a weekly support group every Saturday for a year. And it's still, we occasionally get together, but it's, at the time I didn't know of any other group. And so I
Mhm.
just made one. It's a pattern in my life.
Sure. Just do it.
Just do it. Just make one. So anyway, those kinds of things I'm seeing more and more connection. And
Sure.
I love that. I love that people are feeling like, one, they can be brave enough to lead something, and two, adoptees feeling brave enough to step into community for the first time. And I think that's so brave. So that's probably the biggest change I've seen and shift that I've seen in the last couple of years. And, in 2009, like, I wasn't on social media. I think blogging was really the thing.
I think Facebook has just started to get
Right?
popular.
Yeah, because I got on Facebook in 2007. So,
Oh, look at you.
okay, let's just calm down. I'm just old.
You got invited because that's how you had to get in.
Old, okay?
Hey, we're not ageist on. Well, we can be ageist on this show. That's the other show.
We accept it here. So 2009 was just blogging, and MySpace, really. Anyway, that shows my age.
Imagine if we had MySpace right now and we were top 8ing people in the community. How many schisms would there be because of top 8 drama?
Oh my gosh, I want to create one right now just to do it.
Wait, Katie doesn't have me in her top 8. Why am I number 7? I don't get it.
Oh my gosh.
I am going to angry post song lyrics that represent how I feel.
That would wreck us. The rejection. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we digress. So in 2009, so I've seen a lot kind of shift in that direction. I know, social media has really been a part of the quote unquote community, but what I want to see change, I actually just talked about this in a live yesterday. I think what I want is for more adoptees to feel safe and brave to connect with adoptees within their city. I'm amazed at whenever I travel and I'm able to meet other adoptees. Every single city I've been to, there's been an adoptee that said, I have never been around this many adoptees ever. And for one, I think it's really brave. I keep saying brave, but that's just the word of the day.
I think it's appropriate.
It's really brave to go to a dinner with people you don't know and have to have awkward conversation. And I don't know. I think it's really brave for anyone to do that. But I just wish that, because I think a lot of adoptees don't go because they're so fearful of whatever it is, the anxiety of everything.
Yep.
So I would love to see that shift. I would love to see more adoptees connecting in person with people that live in their city that they feel connected to. It's all about connection.
It is all about connection. And it's about how, I mean, I don't know what I was going to say there, but you're right. It is all about connection, affirming that.
Yes.
I think that's great. I would love to see that too. I'm trying to do that here and honestly fell off. If anybody in our Indiana group is listening to this, I apologize, but I have just been, I just had even more turmoil in my life this week, which honestly has become opportunity, but unexpected. And now I'm just like, as I close this week out, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it on Sunday. And it's just like, I keep saying I'm going to be there next week, and I'm just not. But luckily, it seems like it's sustaining. We have new people joining. People are still going to the meetings. So the link is just perpetually on. If anybody wanted to join, they could just join whenever. But yeah, I love that. And that's a shift I would like to see as well. And I think one of the really cool things that you do is you kind of kickstart those things, those shifts in small places because you, for a while, were trying to hit different cities and bring together adoptees and, have a good time. And not just adoptees who are Asian adoptees, but just like whoever
Yep.
identifies and wants to come and is looking for that kind of community. And I think that's amazing. And you being the connector that you are, know a lot of different people and are able to make those things happen. As we see new voices come into the scene and as we see new connections be made, whether we're making the connections or we see them just happening within our networks, who are some people that you're really enjoying currently? Like who are either they're putting out content that you resonate with or you're just generally like, I like your vibe and I like what you have going on.
What if I said no one? That would be so terrible. No, I'm just joking.
You just said it, and that's not getting cut out. I'm not cutting that out.
You are savage. Okay.
I mean, I'm putting this right out, essentially.
Okay, you know what? Let's just calm down, all right? I'm going through my Instagram right now.
But I'm not going to cut it out.
Like it doesn't surprise me.
It is difficult. If somebody asked me that question, I don't know if I would be able, off the top of my head, to say.
The problem is that you actually told me earlier today.
I did tell you the questions I was going to ask you, and this was one of them. Okay,
let's just calm down. Calm down. Okay, so firstly, Susan. Actually,
Luna.
her sorry.
Take it easy on that water. Leaving it in.
She is so loud. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Susan, her handle is snippets.of.susan. She has been doing all of the emotions prompts this November, and I have been so blown away at her writing and her vulnerability, and some of the stuff that she's written is just so like I can't even imagine how hard it was to write. So I think, and I've been on Zoom with her too. So, but she's awesome. I'm so glad that she decided to write consistently. And like the emotions prompts, again, just very vulnerable, very heavy. And she did every day. And I was just impressed.
Dang.
Who else? Alana, you know Alana.
Oh, yeah.
Alana Hook. The fact that she has been writing prompts every day and reels, like that girl is killing it.
Yeah. And reposting literally everyone's stuff.
Right? Yes.
I'll post something and I'll see like 10 minutes later, Alana actually just posted your thing. Or actually Alana.
Yes.
I'm like, okay. Yes. Got it up immediately. Love it.
She is a close friend of mine that we were able to meet in DC, and amazing. Who am I vibing with?
Good question.
Man, what a good question.
Okay. Did you say that in a mocking tone? I can't wait for people to hear this.
I did not have a mocking tone. Okay. Also, Mayor Jenna.
Yes.
PA.
Former guest of the show, Jenna Antonowitz.
So Jenna, we've already decided that if we met in person, 1, I would scream her name, and 2, we would be best friends for life.
100%. I already know that.
Don't you think that?
I truly believe it.
We have the same vibe.
Yep, you're vibing with the people that you have the same vibe with.
Maybe not. She is much more joyful than I am. I would be the grumpy cat to her joy.
She would be a great hype person.
Right?
She's coming with that optimism. Yeah. No, just only has positive things to say.
Right. Yeah.
And honestly,
I
think she wrote every day.
She did.
Wrote 10 slides worth Well, she should publish those things as a book. It should be a book. I'm like,
Valid.
dang. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
But
every
amazing.
time.
It was amazing. All
Yeah,
of it.
you're right. You're right. There were multiple slides, lots of text, lots of sharing vulnerability. Jenna, you are a rock star.
You are a rock star. The honorable rock star, Mayor Jenna Antonowitz. Maya. Can't speak good.
Oh, also, Rick.
Oh, I knew that was going to be
Yeah.
Jenna and Rick were going to be my two.
Rick, yeah. I mean, he's been killing it too. Like, and Rick also I got to meet in DC. So that was really cool.
He's got just, his story is wild. And like I learned in Korea that every time somebody meets him and he tells part of his story, it's the most enrapturing thing. Like everybody is just all in as soon as like he's just a great storyteller. And I mean, not that, his story is wild and he's very generous in the sharing of it. And I appreciate him for that.
Yep. Rick is awesome.
Rick is awesome.
And then lastly, I loved Kira's reel that she did with
Hate is a virus.
Hate is a virus, yeah. That was so good. Just so well spoken and so articulate, and
she's great at it.
I know.
Like she's a voice actor or something.
It's like she's an actor or something. Oh my gosh.
What's up, Luna?
Luna literally put her butt in my face.
Are you done just chugging water? Or are you drowned because of how much water you chugged? Oh, you're just sleeping. Instantly asleep.
She's like her mom.
You're instantly asleep after you chug water?
I mean, I'm not going to say no, but...
Okay. Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I think those... Oh, go ahead.
Wait, so those are the two people that you would choose?
I was going to say Jenna and Rick were the two people who, especially coming out of NOM, or just throughout November, I was really like... because we talked to them both on the John Chi show. I've talked to Jenna on this show and heard a lot of each of their stories, but it's it doesn't matter how many times you kind of sit with somebody, you always can learn something new. Like I learned something new about you just in this conversation, or at least about something that happened in your past and the motivations behind it. But yeah, they were just two that really had stuck out to me over November, and two people that I was really enjoying. Kira obviously does great work all the time, and I always got to shout out my girl Marguerite J, fellow Boilermaker, also part of the Indiana adoptee group. She also did some collaborations with Hate is a Virus. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But she is just somebody that I just really enjoy as a person, a super incredible person, and somebody who, I don't even know how to describe her. Like indescribable, just a really great person.
We're talking about Marguerite, right?
Yes, yeah.
Marguerite is amazing,
and just a great vibe.
Yes.
Just a great vibe.
Always a great vibe.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking for almost an hour now. It doesn't feel like it, but it does.
How long are your episodes? Clubhouse. Well, I'll just go for 3 hours.
I mean, the one with Laura was a little bit longer because we just really got into the imposter syndrome stuff. And then Jenna's was also long because we just got into the reunion stuff, but also like the reason for going back to Korea. And obviously I was getting ready to go back. So we had a lot to talk about there. True. Me and you, we always talk. So, these can be really short. This could be, I'll cut it down to 10.
Oh my gosh. That's so offensive.
Are you offended?
So offended.
I can tell. You just chugged some water. For the listener, she just chugged some water and fell asleep. So, I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Well, who knows?
Oh, yeah. You asked how long these episodes are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, generally this long. But I don't even know where I was going with this. I'm leaving all of this in. I'm leaving all of this in so people know. Because
Okay.
podcasts are the medium that we can say and do whatever we want if they're our own
And this is an actual, like, real conversation that we would have,
Yes.
even if we were not recording.
If we were not recording and solely talking on the phone, very similar conversation.
Yeah.
Even down to like the questions, like interview style questions about, oh, tell me more about that. Honestly, very true. Well, I guess then with that being said, moving towards the end, my last question is just like, what do you got? What are you looking forward to? What are you most looking forward to as we close out 2022, getting ready to move into 2023? Obviously, we have this whole month of December ahead of us, but what's on the horizon for you? What are you looking forward to?
Oh boy. So 2023 is really a focus on my health. And I really took some big steps earlier this month to really focus on that. And, it always stems back to worthiness. And, and I've talked about it so much, but just being able to take care of myself is it's such a task, and it's exhausting. And so like putting it at the forefront is really hard for me, but it's something that is necessary. And so 2023, I'm really looking forward to making decisions that are beneficial for my health and resting still. It's interesting, like therapy, it's like my therapist asked me, what do you want to work on, or do you want to focus on this? And I'm like, we still need to address the daily stuff that I go through. Like, yes, I want to go back into the trauma and, let's talk about that, but I'm still in crisis mode.
Sure.
And, just being able to not be in crisis mode, just being able to say, okay, I am okay. I have the capacity, and it's not, if something comes up, it's not going to send me in this crisis or survival mode. And that's really a goal of mine is to really be able to manage stress and anxiety. And really, like, depression used to always be the main piece of how I felt throughout the year. But recently, anxiety has really been kind of the culprit for the last couple of years. And it's felt like it's gotten worse. So just being able to manage that and still not have to go into this survival. So just really, putting to practice a lot of things that I've been taught for years and just never really applied. And really just being able to focus on myself and not feeling guilty about it.
Yep.
So like adoptee stuff, I don't know what that looks like. And I will say that I still have a sign up for the sessions because I'm sure that I will do them again. And there's like 9 people that have already signed up, so that's cool. But other than that, I don't really have too much planned except to just focus on myself.
I love it. I think you got to be able to focus on yourself, and you got to be able to get yourself where you need to be before you can really focus on anybody else and truly give to them what you want to be able to give. Yeah. Because if you're not giving to yourself and making sure that your ship is righted, then, it's just going to be bumpy weather, bumpy waves. I don't know where I'm going with this metaphor, but
I liked it.
That was me being deep. So if people were to try and sign up for one of these sessions or just to connect with you if you want them to, how can they get a hold of you? Where can they find you at?
Yeah. So my handle is Katie the Cad, KAD at the end. It stands for Korean Adoptee, by the way. Katie the Cad. I have that handle for everything. So I have a Facebook page. I have Instagram. I do have a Twitter, even though I never use it. I do have a website, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what it is. I think it's katiethecad.com. Is that lame?
I'll link it in the show notes.
Is it lame that I can't even remember my own website?
No. It's definitely you. That's definitely it.
Definitely my giant head on the website.
That is your head on the website.
Well, excellent. And then if you want to sign up for those sessions or for a session, I do have a Linktree link in my bio on Instagram, and you can sign up through there.
Perfect. Go to Katie the Cad, one of the most iconic handles in the Instagram.
Say it one more time. One more time, Patrick.
I'm just being serious. Well, Katie, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the show. I knew you're going to be one of the first 5 guests. Wasn't sure where you'd land, but Thank you for saying yes to being number 3. Probably going to have you back soon if we can get the group together. Would love to do that on an episode. But to everybody out there listening, really, really appreciate it. Continuing on, if you're reading my newsletter or if you've read my newsletter, you know that I dropped some big news there. So would appreciate, or I wouldn't appreciate, I mean, just I appreciate that if you've read it and whatever has come of that. So if you want to listen to this show, obviously you can find it where you're finding it right now. But I don't have any handles or anything like that set up for this yet. So just do everything where you find all of my stuff at Patrick in the World, on basically everything. PatrickInTheWorld.me for my website, buymeacoffee.com/Patrick NTH World, which is Patrick Nth World, because that was the amount of characters I could put on that customized URL. So if you want to support the work that I'm doing here on this podcast and the newsletter or any of my other shows or anything else that I've been doing, I would greatly appreciate any number of coffees. If it's just one, that's great because I love coffee. So Katie, again, thank you so much. Luna, thank you for making a cameo, multiple cameos, audio-wise. And thanks for chugging water and falling asleep. I think I might go ahead and do the same. So without further ado, until in 2 weeks, I guess, I will see you then. Bye.